Consumer demand for ever-increasing amounts of fresh and minimally processed produce can run the risk of being contaminated by pathogens which can make consumers seriously ill and in some cases can result in death. Hi, I'm Kurt Nolte from the University of Arizona, and I'm here today to share with you some best practices involving fresh produce safety and the use of animal manure in your production practices. This is an extremely important topic to many organic leafy green growers since composted manures are used in organic production practices all across the United States. Moreover, animal manures have been used as an organic fertilizer since the time at which agriculture began, some 10,000 years ago. To begin, conventional and organic agriculture utilizes animal waste as part of its regular farm fertilizer program. As a friendly reminder, compost is the natural breakdown of leaves, stems, grass clippings, and animal waste into a form which can be used by plants. This compost is applied to soil in a variety of ways with the ultimate goal of improving the soil to produce greater amounts and high-quality fruits and vegetables. However, the recent E. coli outbreaks in Europe and the United States raise concerns over potential food safety risks in using manure during the production of fresh fruits and vegetables. Animal manure can result in the transfer of foodborne pathogens, in addition to parasites like roundworms and tapeworms. And those most likely to be harmed by these pathogens include pregnant women, children, the elderly, and those with a weak immune system. The use of animal manures can be risky. However, you can implement best practices to minimize these risks. Here are 5 best practice recommendations. Composting involves heating and pH changes, which reduce the number of harmful bacteria. It's important to remember that each lot of compost used in organic leafy greens must be evaluated for its E. coli content, and documents must be made available to show that the compost was created using approved methods. Composting involves 2 production practices. One involves the use of a windrow system, the other a static compost pile. Windrow composts are aerobically maintained at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 days. They're also aged or cured for 45 days prior to application. Compost piles are also maintained aerobically at 131 degrees Fahrenheit, but for 3 days, and are also aged or cured for 45 days prior to application. No matter which method is used, it is recommended that every lot of compost be tested for fecal coliforms, less than 1,000 mpn per gram, and be free of Salmonella and E. coli 0157H7. Best practice 2 involves the storage of manure. Store manure away from areas where fresh produce is grown and handled. In addition, use distance or a physical barrier such as a trench to prevent runoff or wind drift of manure. Tip number 3 involves covering the pile. These piles can be covered with a plastic tarp or a similar material. Rain-induced runoff can also be minimized by trenching, as we learned in tip number 2. And finally, microbial infiltration into soil can be a problem at times, and this can be minimized through the use of clay, plastic, or concrete liners underneath the compost pile. Best practice number 4 involves the use of other crop treatments. These treatments can include fish emulsion, compost teas, and the use of blood or fish meal. It's important to remember that testing and documentation are done in a very similar way to that found in organic composting systems. Tip number 5 involves the application of composted manure. The USDA National Organic Program recommends that manure be applied 120 days before harvest and 2 weeks prior to planting. This means that the best time to apply manure is immediately following harvest, where ample time can be provided so that bacteria can die. Following these steps, you'll be well on your way to minimize the risk of microbial contamination in conventional and organically grown fruits and vegetables. And you'll meet some requirements of fresh produce safety certification programs. Thank you for watching. Let's work together and keep the public safe. I'm Kurt Nolte.